chime in and actually tell y'all about how things really was happy with the situation of finally getting in there, getting to see once again my choice to go to North American trade schools because everyone has been very nice to me, and I got to meet some of my classmates today as well as the instructors, and it's just been a really nice um, environment and vibe that I've got from them so far. And for orientation, they did a usual little overview about what it is that they would be covering in the course, rules and guidelines. And I got my cap and my first shirt for school. I found out that I have to wear jeans or khakis, um, um, and luckily, as far as, but they did tell us that later on they would end up giving us a pair of boots once we become permanent students, and two more shirts, as well as our tools and other equipment and books and whatnot else. I am so excited about this because I waited a long time before I actually thought that I was ready to go ahead and dedicate a lot of time to just going ahead and learning this trade. Mainly because I wanted to make sure that, first of all, my daughter was through school to the point of high school, which she graduated, so I'm happy about that. So I figured I would focus a little bit more on building a career for myself. And so I'll be going to North American Trade School to become a welder. And if you've been following me, you already know how giddy or excited I am about that. Part of the reason why I want to do this is because I grew up a daddy's girl, so to speak, and my father worked in construction. He was on roofs a lot. He would sometimes take me to sit on the side and wait for daddy to get off and that type of a thing. And honestly, seeing him work hard like that inspired me, and it instilled in me this excitement or intrigue in wanting to work with my hands. A little bit of extra background: I was in the first class of the Ingenuity Project, and if you're familiar with that, it was so much fun going through that class, and I learned so much while I was there. Another thing, and here's a funny little side note of another reason why I actually specifically focused in on welding, was because I grew up watching a very specific movie. And the lead woman in this, she was a dancer and she also happened to be a welder. And being someone whose father worked in construction and things of that nature, and seeing a woman out there actually working like that, and that's what her career was until she ended up being going to be a dancer and going to dancing school. I thought that, hey, you know what, I can do that too. And seeing my father do that, and the fact that he actually pushed me and inspired me to do whatever it is that I would want to do in life, I'm looking at this as a way of bettering myself, mastering a trade, and having a career that I can actually be fully proud of. The other side to this is I look at this as a means to have better financial stability in the future as well, because I see welding as a means for me to actually use some of my skills that I see in myself that I don't usually get to express that often as a Lyft driver or Uber driver or a security guard or any of the previous jobs I've had in the past. So I also want to make my daughter proud of me and inspire her to actually learn and do things with our hands and work hard in life. So something else that I think is kind of a interesting tidbit that I figured I would share with y'all about this. I do not know how to swim. And another one of my goals that I'm planning to actually do something about during the time that I'm going to school is I'd like to actually learn to swim. And after becoming a welder, I want to at least once in my life do an underwater weld. That is like my bucket list item thing to do. So I need to, first off, learn how to weld, master being able to weld, learn how to swim, and master being a good swimmer and diver. These are like in-game life goals for me so that I can actually fulfill some dreams that I've had since I was a very young girl. Another thing that I figured I would actually